India, you guys love KFC, but what you might not realize is that it tastes nothing like the original and the authentic KFC flavors that you get overseas. When I got here to India and I tried KFC for the first time, I was so shocked at how different it was. So I'm here in Delhi and here at KFC in the very windy, not so warm, not so sunny country of New Zealand, my hometown. So let's go in, get some chicken and chips, and I'll show you what the differences are. KFC actually launched here in 1995, but it failed because at that time there was a big anti-Western and anti-KFC movement happening, and it was so bad that KFC had to have a police car outside their only store in Bangalore. So then it relaunched 9 years later, and now it's been growing ever since, and they have around 300 stores here in India. Now there are a few major differences you'll notice when you enter KFC here in India. So first off, all the meat is halal and they don't serve any pork. So no bacon in your double down. And that's what Muslims can eat here as well. And then they have a large population of vegetarians here in India. So they have an extensive vegetarian menu. And one other thing they have here are rice bowls. And it's kind of like biryani with kind of popcorn chicken on top. Those are really good and they're super cheap as well. KFC is famous for this, their fried chicken. So let's start here. And the first thing you notice is that the coating is different here in India. It's more like a really crunchy tempura batter. Like almost like it has cornflakes in it, it's that crunchy. So the chicken here overseas in New Zealand, it is just skin coated in flour and the 11 secret herbs and spices. There's no kind of crispy tempura batter or anything else added to it. It's just chicken skin and spices. So yeah, it looks totally different to the chicken there in India with that really crispy tempura batter. And you can actually see the spices on this chicken. Let's taste it now. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny. So the taste of this is totally different here in India. It just has like chili and kind of salt on it. That's all it tastes like. It just tastes like chili, like basically hot and spicy fried chicken. You can actually see the chili in it, the amount of chili that they put in it right there. See that little layer of kind of chili that's on top of the skin. Then you've got that kind of tempura batter on top. So the spices are totally different here. In India, they're not using the Colonel's secret 11 herbs and spices like we get overseas. They've got their own Indian version of KFC. And you can actually see the lack of spices in the coating of this chicken. There's barely any spices on top of it. So you can clearly see the herbs and spices on this. And the flavor is so much more complex than the KFC India chicken. It's not just the chili bomb. You have a ton of flavors working when you bite into this, and it's amazing, it's great, I love it. And there's barely any chili flavor, if any, in this actually. Now the quality of the meat they're using is quite different as well. You get a lot of this kind of brown meat in there rather than like fleshy white meat. And it's just not as meaty as I'm used to eating at KFC. There's less meat and the quality seems a lot worse than this weird brown meat. I don't know what it is. And the issue is that quality meat production just isn't here in India because so many people are vegetarians. They're not experts in, raising good quality meat. Now to the quality of the chicken here in New Zealand, and it is just unbeatable. You can't beat New Zealand for meats. We're famous for it, and it's super white, fleshy meat. There's no kind of brown bits or veins or anything else kind of gross in there. It's just white chicken. And as for price, for 5 pieces, it is $8 New Zealand. For 1 piece, $2 New Zealand. 1 piece of chicken in New Zealand is $3.60, or 5 pieces for $14. So that's quite a lot more than India, around 40% more costly here. So India wins on the cost, but you're getting a lower quality product because it's so cheap there. here you're getting a much higher quality product, but you pay for it. You know, it's that old saying, you get what you pay for. All right, now on to the famous KFC fries, at least overseas. And so you'll see, these are shoestring fries they're selling here in India, and there's almost no salt or chicken salt on them. Let's try it, let's confirm. They don't have the chicken salt on them like we do overseas, and that's just another issue with vegetarians here. They don't want to put the chicken salt on because it's going to upset vegetarians, so they just leave them bland and really terrible fries here. The big difference with the fries here is that they're covered in chicken salt. It's really, really delicious. These aren't just covered in salt, and they're thicker than the shoestring fries that are served in India, and I'm guessing they don't put chicken salt on the fries in India because it's an issue for vegetarians that probably can't eat chicken covered chips. And one other quirk here in India is you'll notice that Indians will put tomato sauce on their pieces of chicken. For us it's just on the chips, but here they'll even put it on their chicken. They put it on anything here actually, and that's not so different from New Zealand actually. We're famous in New Zealand for putting tomato sauce on anything, even inside 2 pieces of bread as a sandwich. So yeah, maybe Indians are more similar to Kiwis than we actually know. So I'm not a fan of KFC here in India. They need to fix their flavors and their quality. But I think it's just that they've made KFC to cater to Indian taste buds. And by that, they've just made fried chicken into a chili bomb. It just tastes like chili, which is a bit sad because the secret herbs and spices, the original KFC recipe is so tasty and so much more complex than just a chili bomb that you get here. Anyway, I'd rather be eating at somewhere like Bikanerwala or Haldiram's, somewhere more desi than KFC. Actually, let's go ask my wife. She's an Indian citizen and she's tried KFC in both countries. Manu, तो आपने दोनों जगह खाया, तो कौन सा KFC सबसे अच्छा है?
मुझे न्यू जीलैंड KFC का ज़्यादा अच्छा लगा कि क्वालिटी बहुत अच्छी है, फ्रेश है, लेकिन मुझे स्पाइसेस अभी भी इंडिया वाले KFC के ज़्यादा पसंद है। यहाँ के भी अच्छे हैं पर मुझे वो ज़्यादा पसंद है, और ऐसा इसलिए है शायद क्योंकि हमें आदत पड़ चुकी है वही KFC और वही स्पाइसेस खाने की।
So after all of this, what I realized is that KFC India is just selling a hot and spicy version of KFC there, and sometimes we get that hot and spicy version here. They do it as like a special every few months here, but yeah, they're definitely not selling the Colonel's famous secret recipe fried chicken, which most of us around the world know as KFC chicken. It's totally different in India, and part of it is what you prefer though. So if you've lived in India all your life and you've grown up eating hot and spicy, you associate hot and spicy with KFC here. I associate KFC with the secret recipe chicken, and I just can't get over how different it is in India when you go in and all you can order is hot and spicy. It was just so different. So maybe one day KFC in India could actually try and, you know, introduce the authentic secret recipe chicken and, you know, see if Indians like it or not.
Yeah. Even